So a few weeks ago, I put out a video about how I prep my images for print, right? Sharpening, enlarging, and all that. I recently had a client place an order for one of my black and whites. It's a 40 by 60. It's the Grand Tetons. It was really stormy that day, so it's a really nice black and white, at least I think so. I went to go do my normal image prep or print prep for the image. And my normal thing is to open up the file, put it into the Topaz Photo AI, and just do a very minimal amount of sharpening, because I found that's the only thing that program is good for. Because I don't know if YouTubers get paid for promoting this product, but I found it is just mostly garbage. In fact, it's funny, I was at the Edmonds Art Fair and I had a photographer come into my come into my booth, and we started talking about it. He feels the same way I do, that it's just garbage. But like I said, it did the one thing really well. Sharpen the image, go to the natural setting, do a very small amount of sharpening, and it was like just what I needed. I opened up Topaz Labs and it had to go through some updates. So I was like, okay, so I updated it, and I'll show you the results of their update. So now that we're in my computer, this is the image here. And like I said, it was very stormy that day. It just worked out really well as a black and white. So you can see over here, I just made a couple copies of it. You know, this is the background. I just Command J, made a copy, then I Command J, made another copy. And if I'm on this image here, the unsharpened image, if I zoom in, you can see the edge is pretty good. You know, around the trees looks fine. Zoom in a little more, you can see, you know, no halos, nothing. And there are a lot of times when you do sharpen an image, if you go too much, it does create halos. So you have to be careful of that. Let me make another copy of this, Command J, because this one up here has the, if I can delete that, it had the Topaz Photo AI adjustments. So I go up in here, go to Filter, Topaz Labs, Photo AI, then it'll run and do its thing, opens up. And now it has some sort of new autopilot thing. Don't know what that is. I'm not a big fan of auto anything, so I haven't bothered trying it or anything. Like I said, I just had the updates done. So once this is done analyzing, it's my understanding with this new setup, there's nothing done to the image right now. So I go Add Enhancements, go to Sharpen, Natural, and make sure I'm on All. Because it's funny, it's like it'll pick a subject, it'll pick like the very top of Grand Teton Mountain, and that's it. Like, that doesn't quite cut it. So, like I said, my normal was All, Natural. Drop the strength down to, like, let's just go 4. So a very small amount of sharpening is done. So you can see in this, you can see a little bit of sharpening, just enough to print. However, their new updates completely ruin your image now, especially the edges. And you can see it's just very small amount of sharpening. All I did is a setting of 4 on natural. So now that this is open, look at this. So if I go back to the unsharpened image, you can see around this tree here, right here, and around the mountain, looks pretty good. No halos, no nothing. If I sharpen it, look at that. They actually created chromatic aberration. Look at that. How did you create chromatic aberration in a black and white photo? Go back to the unedited, and there's no chromatic aberration, there's no halos, the sharpened image, chromatic aberration. I mean, seriously, Topaz, it can't be that difficult. How did you screw that up so bad? What I used to do, I can no longer do, because that is a lot of fixing. I have to go around, fix all these edges, fix all the chromatic aberration, fix all this stuff, and it's just not worth it anymore. Let me just get rid of that. So now, when I sharpen this image, I just used, I think I went to Filter, Sharpen, and then Smart Sharpen. You know, sharpening in the grass and stuff is not that big of a deal. Biggest thing, I said, is around these little trees. Let me zoom in a little more. Kind of around the trees, and you can see just kind of set your, however you want to do it. Just noise radius amount, turn 30%. So let's hit OK. So like I said, I do expect some haloing to happen, not a whole lot. But also, so this is 230% at, what size is this? So we go image size. It's only 16 by 24, so not that big of an image. But if I go back before I smart sharpened it, then if I increase the size, let's go to image size. And like I said, the client ordered a 40 by 60. So I'll upsize it to a 40 by 60. You'll sharpen all sizes a little bit different. A 16 by 24, you're going to sharpen a lot less than you're going to sharpen a large print, because it's designed to be looked at from very far away. And the sharpening doesn't have that big of an effect on a very large print. So think about that kind of stuff. And it is just trial and error. You go in, you set the percentage, set the radius, set the, whatever you want. Okay, so now we're at 40 by 60. You can see here now 2 layers, it's 2.48 gigabyte file. So now if we zoom in here, let's go back to the trees, do filter, sharpen, smart sharpen. And some people use the unsharp mask. It's personal preference. So each one has its own settings. Let's scroll down. The white always starts out in the grass, maybe because that's at the bottom of the photo. Find the trees, there we are. Let's zoom in a little bit more. So you can see there, like I said, a little bit of haloing, easy to fix. But you can also just kind of drop this down to like, and if you increase the radius, you can see the difference here, like 13.3 pixels. That is horrendous. So maybe let's drop it down to 0.9. You can drop it down to 0.4, 0.5. So this is something you just have to play around with till you kind of figure out. So I kind of find around, when you're this size, 1 pixel roughly is pretty good. So around 230%. Click OK. Like I said, yes, there are a few halos I have to deal with. I don't have chromatic aberration to deal with. I don't have all that weird stuff that Topaz AI decided to put in it. Easy fixes. I can just go over to clone stamp. Let's go to darken. Let's just go 100%. Take a sample somewhere, say like here. Take a sample of that. And just kind of brush this in really quick here. And then just kind of walk around your edges. Click that, just kind of zoom in like this. Just drag it. Once you kind of clean up all your edges and it's done. But like I said, I don't know how Topaz Labs adds chromatic aberration in a black and white image. It is just unbelievable to me. It doesn't make any sense. Basically, I'm back to the old style that I was sharpening, basically either smart sharpen or the unsharp mask when it comes to sharpening an image for print. So tell me if you've had experience with the Photo AI, and if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. I may have to play around a little bit more, see if I can figure it out. But right now, it just became a useless program. Fortunately, it was a one-time buy. I'm not gonna pay for updates. I'm just gonna kind of slowly let it die because it's just not worth it to me. Like I said, if you've had different experiences with Photo AI, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my website, randybotphotography.com. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.